Welcome to Ion Innovation, brought to you by the OAS podcast. I'm your host, Carrie Powers. Today, we are at OAS Retina Summit in Seattle, where we have the opportunity to sit down with some companies doing really exciting work on the forefront of new technology in the retina space. My distinguished guest here today is Rich Small, CEO of Neurotech. Neurotech's technology platform uses encapsulated cell therapy, or ECT, in combination with CNTF, currently in phase 3 for MACTEL. So welcome to the OAS podcast, Rich.
Well, thanks for having me, Carrie. Very nice.
It's great to have you here. So first, tell us a little bit more about Neurotech and your technology platform.
Sure. So like you said, ECT is our proprietary delivery technology. It's really cool what we're doing. And basically what we're doing is we are delivering neurotrophic factor to the back of the eye to handle all sorts of retinal diseases. The first one that we're really focused on right now is for a disease, it's an orphan disease called macular telangiectasia, or MACTEL for short, a little easier to say. And so when we're releasing the neurotrophic factor, CNTF, to the back of the eye, and really the whole concept is it just helps preserve and protect the photoreceptors. And so what happens with the diseases, these photoreceptors are dying, and our treatment actually helps preserve the health of the photoreceptors. And so it's really something that is unique, and it's a little different take to how other companies are handling diseases. Most other companies are with intravitreal injections. We're actually taking our technology, and it's for a much longer term effect and treatment for these disorders. So our first product we call NT501. NT501 does deliver CNTF, so it's kind of one and the same. And as I said, we are applying it to MACTEL. Just a quick word about MACTEL, since a lot of folks might not be familiar with it. Mm-hmm. It is a disease that it's like a lot of retinal diseases, it's slow progressing, meaning that over time, the effect will happen. Typically, what's most pronounced, it impacts the patient by, impacts their ability to read, to drive, any sort of light and contrast sensitivity. And over time, it will slowly deteriorate your visual acuity too. So it's slow progressing, but it can be a very serious and devastating disease to the folks that have it. The one other thing, there is no treatment available now. Mm-hmm. So we potentially could offer the first treatment for this disease.
Wow, that's phenomenal. Sounds like quite a disease burden too.
It is. There's a quite an active network of folks that have this disease, and they're very interested in what we're doing and hoping we can get a product so they could be helped very soon.
Very good. So we're here at the OAS Retina Summit. What are the biggest, most exciting updates you have to share with us today?
Sure. So the biggest thing we did, this actually goes back to last fall. We actually, as you said, we're in phase 3. We actually completed our 2 phase 3 registration studies where we showed both statistical and clinical meaningful efficacy for our treatment. And what our treatment it does is actually it slows the progression of the disease, but very meaningful. One of our studies showed a slowing in progression of over 50%, and the second one over 30%. So very meaningful if you compare it to some of the other treatments out there that are slowing progression disease down. We had a very meaningful impact on the disease, and that was over 2 years. So very long-term extended results that we're thrilled about.
Very good. Well, let's think forward 1 year. What milestones are you hoping to achieve in the next 12 months or so?
Sure. So right now, we're still, the whole company, and pretty much the whole company is focused on putting everything that we need to do, both clinically and manufacturing-wise, to file a submission with the FDA. And we'll be working closely with the FDA to file, and then hopefully thereafter go through the approval process and hopefully get to approval with the agency.
Very good. You have some important and very hard work ahead, it sounds like. We'll be anxiously awaiting to hear about your progress here at OAS and wishing you all the success in the world.
Well, it's great. And thank you once again for for having me and to tell you a little about the Neurotech story.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's very interesting. Thank you for joining us today. That's it for the OAS podcast. I'm your host, Carrie Powers.